up, though, world? This is your man, Jay Liggs, and you are back rocking with the Culture Cure. I appreciate everybody tuning in, as you always do, every week with us. It's always a good time. Ladies, how y'all doing today?
I'm all right.
Y'all want to do that little ditty y'all was doing, like 2 seconds?
I don't think they heard us. I mean, I don't.
They heard us. Everybody else didn't hear us.
Yeah, who heard us needed to hear us?
Go ahead, harmonize one time for me.
Yeah.
One time for the one time.
Stop.
You like Slender.
Oh, my God.
Sexy independent.
Never said to let
Let it go.
Y'all silly. But yeah, we appreciate you all being in. We want to give a shout out to Soraya. She's not at work today. Get to work, you know, like she can't take days off.
At work. That's funny you call this work when we aren't getting paid.
Volunteer service. I'm gonna write y'all a slip.
Oh, well
up there.
then you could just show up at volunteer service whenever you're free.
Right.
You're
We're all
hilarious.
free at 8 o'clock.
You're hilarious to hit that dance again.
So moving on here.
Let it go.
So moving on here. Has anybody tried the chicken sandwich?
Come on, look. Listen to me. Just so I can have
Have you tried it?
an educated position on this argument, I am going to try the Popeyes chicken sandwich one day, maybe this week. But
If you can get it.
it was disrespectful
That line?
how no one talked about Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich.
They can have a seat in the back. All the way in the
What?
back. Yeah, they can have a seat in the back.
Come on now.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not good.
Wendy's definitely has like.
I mean, I'm glad they brought
best
the.
spicy
I'm
chicken
glad they brought the
sandwiches.
nuggets back, but yeah, I'm glad they brought the nuggets back.
The nuggets was dry.
I heard the
And
nuggets
spicy.
weren't
But the
good.
spicy nuggets?
Yeah.
They were.
I don't eat them.
They were.
I
I
mean-
used to, but I stopped because I was like, they're not. So what? Like,
Yeah.
it's just not.
All right.
My thing is when something's supposed to be spicy, right? Like, I actually wanted to like make my eyes water a little bit. Like, that's real. That's
But
a
it has
real
to be
kick
like
to
a
it.
blanket thing, like everyone.
I mean, people got diabetes out here, you know,
Yeah.
so they just can't take it.
You know what I'm saying? They gotta just, it has to be a blanket. You know, look.
Can't make it too spicy.
Yeah, you know, everybody has to be able to consume it.
Look, I said what I said. I'm gonna try the Popeye sandwich just so I can say, just so I can go ahead and say again
Mhm.
that Wendy's has the best.
I
but-
guarantee you
From
won't be
what
able to do that.
from the,
So what are y'all saying?
I
haven't-
Y'all
I
saying
haven't- yeah,
Popeyes
yeah.
is better than Chick-fil-A?
I haven't tried it yet, but the
Either
lines.
one?
No, I've tried Chick-fil-A, but the lines I'm seeing at these Popeyes are saying something.
The way I sat in that line for an hour yesterday,
Or is it because people made a big deal out of it on social media, and now you like, now, same reason why I'm going.
Okay, so here's the thing though. She's
It's
had
It's
it.
been out for months.
no, it came out, it ain't been out for months.
I heard it's been out for like 5 or 6 months now.
No.
No, it came out, it's been out longer than a week, but it's not been out for months.
No.
But let me-
Maybe, yeah,
let me tell
maybe
you
2
something.
weeks.
Let me tell you, that chicken sandwich is
No, come on.
fire. Like,
Hey, I believe it.
I've had Chick-fil-A.
I've had Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is
Ooh.
decent.
Yeah.
But I think
Can
that,
you read your passage?
and this is the perfect
Your what?
Passage
little
from
passage.
Popeyes chapter 4.
Popeyes is very, very good, but it's not the true definition of spicy.
I'm telling you,
Well, it's not. See,
keep
you want
saying
the
that.
spicy thing. It's not
You
about
will-
the spice. It's just about just the sandwich.
No, you want to believe that, but I'm telling you, the sandwich is good. Like,
So you wanted them on social media, because I was like, they seriously gonna talk about this all day. Like,
I didn't. Y'all the first people I told I tried it. I mean, outside of my mom, but
all right, go ahead.
okay. So this is the perfect explanation. This is some meme that it was on
It's
Instagram. Okay, let me break it down for the people who haven't had a chicken sandwich from either Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. Chick-fil-A sandwich tastes like it was cooked by a white woman named Sarah who grew up around black people. The flavor is definitely there, but Sarah cares about your cholesterol. So she's careful about the breading and the grease content. Popeye's chicken sandwich tastes like it was cooked by an older black lady named Lucille that serves on the usher board and has 12 grandkids that call her Medea. Medea doesn't give a shit about your cholesterol because God's in control. When I tried that sandwich, I was like, that's a fact.
It tastes like a cast iron skillet.
That's a fact.
With that grease from 20 years ago.
Dog, when I tell you it's good,
Somebody said that's racist.
whatever it is, The truth.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man. So we have,
So,
we have to try.
This
it.
is
We
this
gotta
is
report
funny
that.
to me now because the way black people act about Chick-fil-A before this whole conversation started, they act like it was like the best thing since sliced
I mean,
bread.
it
See, I think Chick-fil-A is
So
overrated.
now,
It was okay.
that's kind of what I
But
thought.
did you all see when Plies chimed in about churches? How you could get 62 pieces for $10?
You can't pay me to eat church's chicken.
Okay,
Their biscuits
Hey,
are
biscuits fire.
fire.
to be
I can't eat
fair,
that chicken.
And I eat churches.
I
Well, I did.
I don't eat it often. I'll eat it like every blue moon, but they also
Hot
have
pepper,
spicy.
Let it drip on the chicken.
They, damn.
You know you like that spice.
They also have spicy chicken, and their shit is like actually spicy.
Churches, you know, I grew up with churches. So.
I mean, everybody did, but now you're an adult, you can make choices.
Better choices about your liver.
Like, no, I'm good on church.
That's gonna be a no for me, though, right?
I'll try it.
Yes. I mean, I'm not, like, Popeyes is right next to where we are, and I wouldn't recommend.
Oh, going to that one?
No, just, that, the line is unnecessary.
Look, when I pulled up today, the line was wrapped around the building.
For this chicken sandwich?
But it's good.
Listen, dude on social media, he went in, they didn't have no bread. He went and got some one of them bread buns. You know what I'm saying? Said,
It was that serious?
I guess. I ain't had it.
It's probably the same spicy chicken that we get
Aaron,
without the bone.
I
Aaron,
doubt it.
I'm telling you,
Without the bone.
it is.
I'm saying,
not-
like, when you order chicken, right, and they say you want original or spicy, I
You
say
talking about the
spicy.
breast?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't think people slobbing over the same thing. It gotta be something different in the
I
bread.
want you to this
I'll
week
find out.
go and try it, and then next week Thursday when you come back, tell me
Gee,
how
I'm
your
sure
mind was
thought
blown.
said that Popeye sandwich I hear is crack on a bun with pickles.
Hello. Let me see. So the pickle, it came
Oh, the
out.
pickle, it
It
just
came
popped
out
out.
of
It's
nowhere.
like a special surprise.
So I knew it was on there, but like the first bite was like, oh, okay, this is good, and then you got that like hit of pickle, and it was like, motherfucker,
Duh.
what is this?
Is it something else on the sandwich?
No.
It's like a spicy
Sauce?
Aioli
like a
or something.
yeah.
Dog, that's just like the po' boy I used to eat from them. I guarantee it
Look.
probably tastes the same. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll eat. I'm going to eat it. Don't get me wrong. I mess with Popeyes.
She
So.
gonna come back next week like,
I was
Nigga.
wrong.
And I'm be like, nigga. Yeah.
wasn't all that.
And it come in this little pouch. I don't even know what the purpose of the pouch was, but
To hold the sandwich. The same thing
Let
Chick-fil-A does.
Let it keep marinating.
Oh, man.
Let it marinate.
See, I would prefer Chick-fil-A has a chicken breakfast sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Their breakfast sandwiches.
What, on a biscuit?
Yes.
Oh, maybe, all right.
You know who
Fire.
also has breakfast that I didn't know, but it's probably only at airports? Wendy's. And they have a breakfast biscuit that's amazing.
Look, when it comes to fast food, the only breakfast I will eat, which is hilarious because I won't eat their lunch.
McDonald's.
Or, yeah. Right? I don't even mess with Burger King or anything. Tim Hortons is fire,
No,
but
I'll
they
get a
they not in the
croissant from
same
McDonald's, definitely.
they're not in the same category to me. But
I don't really
Like
I
Taco
hash
Bell?
browns.
it's my favorite fast food restaurant, but they should not be serving breakfast. It's just not right.
I got food poisoning on Taco Bell when I was in undergrad.
Yeah,
Ain't
sense.
never had it since.
I'm sorry
Like,
to hear that.
You can't pay me to eat
That
it.
was that was an employee's fault,
It was.
not Taco
No,
Bell's
I don't doubt
fault.
it, but it's just like a
I
psychological
know,
thing.
but Taco Bell is.
Can't do it.
Oh, we got paperwork today.
Well, moving along here, I do want to start off in, to giving condolences to T. Grizzly's team over the death of, I think it was his honor, right?
Slash manager.
Who was also his manager?
Yeah, it's crazy how this world is, and you know, I know he came up living a certain type of life, but he's changing that. You know, he's doing different things now, and it seems like sometimes, regardless of what you may do to change yourself, you change your surroundings. Sometimes the people around you don't change, and it's unfortunate sometimes. So we do want to send out condolences to his family.
Absolutely, and I think it's just super unfortunate. I agree with what you're saying, but sometimes it's not always the people around you. You could have gotten rid of the people around you, but like the people who, it's a lot of haters out there.
And that's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about like his immediate circle.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, the people that hated him for whatever reason before are still holding on to that and are still around, obviously, close enough to touch him.
I just don't understand that level of like hate for somebody.
Yeah.
Like that has to be such a strong feeling inside of you to try to take somebody's life.
Yeah, like yeah.
I ain't never hated nobody that much.
No, that's a different. I don't even think you care about yourself at that point.
So do y'all, see, that's another thing, right? Now it goes back to like, okay, mental health or do you think people are just extremely emotional?
I think it falls back. What I always go to is I think people don't know how to adequately express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that all the time, so they don't know how to deal with the emotions that they're feeling. And it comes out, especially in men, in a super macho way.
Mm-hmm.
So you disrespected me, now I have to prove my manhood and assert myself, and that would mean causing harm to you, however it's done, whether I'm trying to fight you or kill you. But now that make like, oh, you're a man now.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask a question. Is that based on my environment though? Like, am I being egged
You gotta
on?
prove your manhood
You know,
all
like
the time.
in private settings, I don't think that every man that acts like that around his friends or around a group setting is going to respond like that in a private setting. I don't assume. I just think what it is, like you're saying, I have to assert myself now because it's like when we were in school and you get bumped. Oh, you gonna let him bump you like that?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna put the pin on your shoulder. You bet you won't knock the pin off his shoulder.
So we still kids.
And to be honest, it's what they say,
Yeah.
once an adult, twice a child. Some people are
Okay,
getting there
that
quicker.
doesn't mean.
I don't think
know.
that applies.
That doesn't
I
mean,
know
yeah.
it was a joke. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I think some people are getting there in the mentality quicker. It's crazy how
Or they never got out of
well,
it.
they just never matured.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
People have weak minds.
Yeah.
They just have very weak minds.
And I think it's even worse because that's one of the downfalls of social media. Everybody's worried about how they're going to be perceived.
Mhm.
So
but they continue to post.
but see, the cameras come out so quick. So as soon as I bump you, somebody's camera's on.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They have to see the response.
Yeah.
So now I gotta respond because the world's watching now.
And now it's not just like you and the homies who know
Mhm.
about it. Everybody knows about
My auntie
it.
know about it in 2 seconds,
Right. Who lives in California.
and she calling you. Did you let that boy touch?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
But
it's
that
crazy.
still doesn't give you just
It,
cause.
it does not. It does not validate the extremes and the extent that we
Yeah,
go
of course.
to save face.
They say-
it's getting ridiculous.
Real maturity is when you have the power to actually do something, you still
Walk away.
decide not to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, regardless of what people say or how, what they
My
think
hair
about
looks
you.
stupid. I'm so sorry.
We're sorry. Does
Tiffany's
everybody
having a
agree?
rough day. Oh, that
No.
hair looks
Does
stupid.
everybody agree? I mean,
No, it does. Like,
she said,
you know,
I didn't think so when
I didn't think so. Thought you
I
was
didn't
on some
think
real
so when I
natural
saw
today,
you.
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. My struggles are very real today, and I own my truths.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that's we see. We see.
I don't think it looks stupid, but
I
I
don't
mean, you are your worst critic, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes for everybody.
I know. Oh no, I know.
Okay. All right. Anything else about that, you all?
No, I mean, what we started with, like,
Count down from 10, shit. It actually works. People don't be thinking about that when they're in the heat of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
If you really take a second and think about what's gonna come out of your mouth or how you might respond to a situation, you will most likely respond differently if you take a break first. Take a second.
I mean, but when you're in the heat of the moment,
I know you wanna knock
you
somebody's
get real
top
hot
off,
under the
yeah.
collar.
Yeah, I don't know how much 10 I got in me when you got me there.
Even if you count down from 5, actually, like,
I
you can
think
assess the situation in that
just
5
let me
seconds.
get out of the situation.
Well, that gives you time to leave also.
All right.
Well, y'all ain't out here shooting people and stuff, so. Are
So,
you? What the?
Cricket?
So, yeah, moving along here. Yeah, so did you all, just a little, so Stacey Abrams, you all know who she is?
Yes.
Okay, she was on Breakfast Club today or yesterday. And there's a couple of websites I want to drop out early on in the show, and I'll probably drop them again so we can start kind of talking about that. We need to start talking about the race and what's coming forward with that. Fairfight2020.com. It's basically a site that you can go to and get some information. Start, looking up what's going on, understanding the different situations in your states, so on and so forth, which is a link to go to.
From the political perspective.
Right, a link to go to get information. There's another one called faircount.org, and that's basically making sure your vote counts. You know, everyone's talking about this voter suppression and all this other stuff, and, you know, being afraid of their vote not counting. So there's ways to make sure your vote counts. You have to make sure you are registered. A lot of people don't even know if they're registered. They move and not change their address, you know, and not getting their mail and don't know where to go vote. So there's a lot of things you can go to that website and listen to.
So I would take this to mean that this is like the Cliff Notes for all of those who don't do the extensive research on their own. Like it's a one-stop shop kind of.
That's what it's planned
Which is
to be.
good.
Yeah, that's what it's
No,
planned
I
to be.
think
Like,
that's
it's still
good.
growing, but it's.
Yeah, but some people, you know, they don't know what to believe, they don't know where to go, they don't know, or they just hear too much, and then it just confuses them. So I think any site that gives real facts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
facts, you know, one pager,
Not
like,
fake news.
let me know what it is. Oh, man. Geometry of Thought said, what's up with the Jay-Z NFL deal? Well,
You tell me.
we discussed
We
that
touched that last week.
We did,
Some
but.
other things have unfolded since.
That's true.
I guess we can
Go ahead.
5 minutes.
We got it.
go there for a couple of seconds. I do like that Jermaine Dupri came out immediately to expound the rumor about Jay-Z supposedly saying, you know, he was offered the same deal and Jay-Z told him not to take it.
Oh, that's not true.
No.
I didn't know
Funkmaster
that.
Flex said he's lying. Like, that
Oh.
Rock Nation pressure got put on his neck and he folded.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That who's lying?
JD.
That Jermaine Dupri. So Funkmaster Flex is saying that Jermaine Dupri is walking back what he said, or walking back what Funkmaster Flex and Brian Michael Cox said, that you first, let's back up. Initially, they came out and said that Brian Michael Cox and Funkmaster Flex said that Jay-Z had a conversation with Jermaine Dupri when the NFL approached him before and told him not to do the deal. That was the narrative that was going on for a while, and I think either yesterday or the day before yesterday, Jermaine Dupri came out on Big Tigger's show and said that that wasn't true, and that that's not, the way they're portraying that is not actually what happened. So Funkmaster Flex's response to that is you walk that shit back because Rock Nation put pressure on you.
I don't know what to say. I didn't hear that. I just heard his.
Okay, even still, right? If we even took the whole Jermaine Dupri thing out of it, people still don't like it, right?
It's a line has been drawn in the sand, and you know, and, Tiff and I was talking earlier, like the way the culture and the temperature of the world, they're making everybody like choose sides on anything, and it's actually dividing us, you know, in multiple ways. You know, whether it's political, it's, you know, social injustice, where it's a chicken sandwich. It's a lot going on. They're forcing people to like not just be able to live. It's like you have to have a decision. And I don't know. Like I said, I still have questions about it. You know, I'm a lifelong Jay-Z fan. Everything that he's done, I've agreed with. I just have questions about the temper of how this was done per se. Or, you know, I do want to know what the end goal. I get, you know, it's a bigger picture. Me getting here opens the doors for X, Y, and Z. I get that. That's all fine with that.
I've heard from other people that they're just using Jay-Z because, you know, ratings were trash. You know what I mean? So they're using him to reel back in our people who weren't fucking with the NFL. Like, and now that Jay-Z is a part of it, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch the halftime show. Oh yeah, like they might put some stock back into the NFL because Jay-Z is now a part of it and he's so well respected in our community.
So here's my struggle with the arguments. So I agree with Jay-Z's deal. Made that clear last week. I have no issue with it. But the argument that the other side is making typically is that, like, oh, they're using him, he's a pawn. And I struggle with that because as bright as this man is, as deep-rooted as he is in the community and with helping people, you think he would allow himself to be used?
Or not see through it.
Right, like, so you mean to tell me, y'all think that he's an idiot? Y'all think that he's capable of being a puppet?
Yeah.
When he's shown throughout his career that he makes power moves. So
Mhm.
why would we not think that that's the case now? Why would we think
I-
that like, oh no, he's getting played here, he doesn't know better? Because that's what I'm
It
hearing.
might benefit both sides.
No, it's definitely. gonna
You get what I'm
benefit
saying?
both
I don't
sides.
think this is like, this
But
might not be one side is
I don't-
losing.
I don't think he's being a puppet for any reason. Like I don't think that at all. But I do feel, I guess, what people are trying to convey or trying to say is that, of course, the NFL has ulterior motive. Like they have something there, you know, that may come out later, or something may.
And Jay-Z doesn't?
Of course he does. I'm not saying he doesn't, but it's more so like the phrase, you know, you got one hand behind your back while you shake your hand with this hand. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case.
Anybody that does business knows that.
Yeah, so-
if he's a business, if Jay-Z's that businessman, I know you got something behind your back. I just need to make sure whatever's behind my back is bigger.
So and then I guess that's where the discussion comes in. It's like, is whatever you got behind your back going to be bigger than what the NFL can have behind their back?
I think he's capable.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's
I
not.
do too. I do too.
I just want to know. 'Cause
I'm still
I
like
guess-
on the fence about this. I don't know.
I guess my biggest, because we were talking about it last week, and they were saying like, what's next? And I guess my biggest concern is that we're wrapping everything together. This deal has nothing to do with Cap,
Mhm.
and they're pulling it together. And even in the interview, you know, that's kind of skewed because they said he had a conversation, and Cap's wife, girlfriend, came out and said they never had a conversation, and then they had a conversation, but it didn't go well. So it's like, it's a lot of speculation about that part, you know, like, and then he made the statement of, and I'll say again, you know, we're past kneeling. Well, no, I'm sure someone feels like they're not past it because he wanted to bring light to, you know, the social injustice. And someone made a point that, you know, it was still social injustice for him losing his job. And they're trying to say, like, you know, he
Right.
can have his job back. Sure, anybody can hire him, but the reason that you all settled on this deal, because the lawsuit, is because you all knew that you all were doing this. You were blackballing this man inside the league.
Would he have lost his job if he was white?
Would he have kneeled?
Just hypothetical. I got two questions for y'all actually. Do you think this would have got that far if he was white, just trying to bring awareness to what's happening
Like
in the
let's
black
say gun
community?
violence. Let's just say gun violence.
Oh, even
Let's say gun
okay.
violence. If he was white, kneeling for gun violence.
Would he have even got this far? Would he have gotten fired?
That's a very good question. And I don't know.
I don't have an answer.
I could hypothesize, like I could say.
I mean, that's all we got.
What would
Like-
your hypothesis be?
I mean, I would like to say, I would like to say yes.
That he
That
would have lost his
He
job.
would have lost his job.
Because
Because
I don't think so.
So do you think that he lost his job because he was a black man, or that he was too much of a hazard?
I think it's always been an
Well, my
issue
thing
about
was,
black
how
people
was-
like being too
Well, how
rowdy
was
about
it-
a situation. Like, oh, let me fire you and calm you down. Like,
So you think that if it was a white guy doing the exact same thing Kaepernick did,
I don't
like,
think-
he would still be kneeling to this day?
I don't think it would have turned into what it is because there's so much hate in our country. Our president probably wouldn't have said nothing about it. A lot of other people wouldn't have said nothing about, oh, that's so disrespectful to the flag and to all the people who have served for our country. Wouldn't nobody be saying that if somebody white did that?
They changed.
They would have took it differently, like, or they probably would have respected it a little bit more. They wouldn't have took it as like a shot to the country, because that's not what this initially was about.
Never was about that.
It was never about disrespecting the people who
That's
served this
interesting.
country, but they wouldn't have took it that way if it was somebody white who did it.
And also to say,
That's fair.
you made a comment about it being a hazard. How was he a hazard though? It was a peaceful protest.
It was
He
right.
riling up the black community. They
Now,
don't like it.
Beyond it being routing up the black community, it became a spectacle for the team. So whereas we're here to do a job, we're here to play football. Now all the media attention is always on you protesting. Now you're having this whole different conversation when we're only here to play football. You're making this like a whole issue, which is
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But if I'm the New England Patriots or I'm the San Francisco, whoever, whatever team it is, I need this narrative to be about football.
So, and that's where I guess I chime in, because initially the 49ers supported. They didn't have a problem with the narrative being on him at that moment.
Some white guy in the Olympics just kneeled. No one's talking about that.
I
We've
saw
been
that
talking about this for years.
when they won.
One black man kneels. We've been talking about this for a very long time. He's
And-
lost his job and everything. Like,
and the point
no
that you
one's
made
talking about that either.
about it being somebody white, and I changed the narrative because I'm not sure how many white people would have kneeled in, you know, for social justice. So if it was, say if it was for gun violence,
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been drawn out. And if it was drawn out, they probably would still be kneeling to bring this awareness, and it would have been applaud.
Right. We'll never know.
I don't know.
Or, hey, I mean, we
I mean,
kinda do know. Somebody white did do it.
I think that
And nobody's talking about it.
I mean, but he was like some obscure guy that nobody really knew, right?
Okay.
No, the white guy who kneeled.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we
That's
don't
a
know.
very
Okay, now I
interesting
got one more hypothetical for y'all, right? So I think Shade Room posted this. They were like, okay, so we're basically telling Jay-Z to not take the NFL's money. Why hasn't anyone said that to the NFL players who are black? So what's y'all take on that?
Yeah, like because I agree with the Jay-Z move. I think he should take the money. I think that.
Right.
So my viewpoint is, yeah. Like,
Yeah, I've never had an issue with the deal. It was
Mhm.
more so the optics of it and where are we going and how they kept trying to wrap the cap thing into it, because it's two separate things.
Yeah.
I guess the issue with, the black people that are still in the NFL, at the end of the day, this is their job.
That's what one of my friends said.
You
Like,
know,
that's their livelihood.
so,
Like,
yeah,
Jay-Z
if
don't
they-
need this deal.
If they all walked from the NFL, now
that's
that's
even more point.
that's
He
another-
doesn't need the deal.
Then why would he do it unless it was a bigger picture?
Correct.
but that's another question though. If all of the black people, black, players,
Mhm.
let's say they walked and Cap got fired, what do you think that would have done?
Shut the whole thing down. There would
What-
be no
do you
What
NFL.
would I
Like,
think would have
Do you
done for the
think-
NFL?
Do you
or-
think it would have made, do you think something would have had to happen
yes.
for Cap at that point?
So everybody would have stood behind Kaepernick.
Yeah, like, and walked, like when they fired him and they all walked.
Sure. I mean, at that point, think about you own a company, you fire one shit. If everybody leave, we gotta figure something out. Like,
There is no
we-
more NFL. You get rid of all the black players? Nigga, what?
You got a nice kicker.
Y'all can
quarterback.
combine it to two teams out of the whole country and make a spectacle out of that? What are you saying?
But I mean,
There
I
is
think
no
that's
NFL.
that's completely unrealistic. That's super unrealistic.
I mean, are you saying it's unrealistic because of?
Because everybody didn't support Kaepernick. All the black people didn't support him. And then it's not realistic that all these people, I can support you, but hey man, I'm with the cause, but I'm not willing to compromise my livelihood, my family's livelihood, and all the people who depend on me.
Make a
Not
point.
I
right.
guess so. Different money scale, different
Yeah.
type of people that are being supported. But what would be the difference in any type of? Because that would necessarily be a strike. So what would be the difference in any other type of strike though? Like, this is unfair. We're going to band together and we're going to make you listen, because if we all walk up out of here, it's going to affect your bottom line. And now you have to listen.
A strike though, we all kind of agreed on this.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if they would have done that, that's what I'm saying. If they would have, because obviously, like you said, because a lot of people wasn't kneeling. There was people standing right next to him that were black that was like this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, right. So I guess that all boils down to the fact that what I'm saying is that it should be separate with this conversation of this deal and with Cap, because it's two different things. Because obviously everybody didn't agree with the whole kneeling thing in the first place.
I don't know how this got so like out of control, because there was no end, we say this every time we talk about this, there was no end game for this. Like, The whole thing was just to bring awareness to what's going on, not necessarily like for the NFL to do something about it. So,
Yeah, it was never a social injustice.
yeah,
thing.
I mean, I felt like I always gotta,
It was more
like,
so-
we always gotta remember that.
It was more so the issue that I had, and I don't know if everyone else had with the NFL, was when he lost his job for this peaceful protest. That was my issue.
But then the struggle, I didn't really follow Kaepernick when he was in the league. People
I
said
didn't
he
know who
was
he was.
trash anyway.
No, he was a good quarterback.
I don't know, I'm asking. I'm a fan of football, I just wasn't a fan of Kaepernick. I heard he was trash.
Oh, you said you are a fan of football?
Mhm.
Oh. Probably.
You don't like football?
Not-
I like it better than basketball.
No, it's the other way around for me.
All right.
But no, well, I do want to address your hilarious ask, what was the deal? I don't think anybody knows the exact parameters.
I
of
said
what
that
the
too
deal
last
is.
week. I'm like, okay, we only know like what we see from social
What we're
media,
told.
maybe TV. I'm like, we weren't in the conference room with him for however many hours they were talking about this.
That's
Like,
why I think
we don't
he's
know all
got
the
something
details
up
about
his
this.
sleeve.
Well,
Let's just
they
chill
did,
and wait.
they did give a blanket description of what it was. You know, he's over, I guess, the production of the Super Bowl, the halftime show. And also, they kind of sprinkled in to reform, like, the social justice issue within the NFL. That's what I got.
And I'm not sure if this was just, I hate to use the term fake news or whatever, but they were saying that he was due to become a majority owner.
Of
Of an NFL
yeah,
team?
Oh,
I
I read that too.
Yeah, I read that.
And then somebody was like,
Raiders
what
or
if he
something.
hires Cat back to be on that team?
I mean, what if? Or what if he at least gives him the opportunity to try out?
He could.
I mean, it's all possible.
So we just gotta wait and see. All right, that was our 3 seconds that turned into 10 minutes.
Right.
And we're past it.
All right.
So, how do you all feel about Trump signing the executive order to cancel student loan debt for disabled
Made me wish I was.
veterans?
Disabled and a vet? What you mean?
Man, student loan debt is
So,
crushing.
here's my thing though, like, why
Sometimes
couldn't
you
it
gotta
just
do what
be,
you gotta do.
why couldn't it just be eradicated?
Cause he loves the military, and people want to believe that
Coming
they
from
love
somebody
the
who's
military.
never been in ROTC. Like
Did she say
he's so full of
ROTC?
shit, man, like.
That's a fact.
Geometry of thought said, go Trump. Fuck out of here.
I was about to say, no, you get the
What?
I wish that, first off, kudos to those vets, because I do think that
Yeah.
regardless that veterans get play, they go out
They do.
there, they give their life for this country.
Yeah.
Every day they put their life on the line, the fear of being killed. They do unspeakable things, and then have to come home to
Fight
just
for
be,
their benefits.
yeah, and to just, you go from that and you're thrown back into regular society with like, hey man, it might be some help down at the VA if you need it.
And when Andre was here, and he was talking about, his work with the vets and how they have to like fight. Like
Mhm.
there's people missing limbs and they have to fight to get 100% of disability.
Mhm.
Like they have to
Mhm.
keep filing all this paperwork because
Yeah.
they'll give them like 30%. And it's like, oh, well, we didn't know about this, or we didn't know about this, or you didn't check this box, or in the boxes in legalese. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, how did I know?
It's like my whole leg is gone, gee, like,
Like, this is-
why
It's
would I
not funny,
explain
but
all
yeah.
this?
Yeah, so.
I mean, but it's just the absurdity of it, like the hoops that you make these people jump through. But it's so easy to go sign up to be in the military. You just sign your name down, they send you to boot camp, and then send you overseas somewhere and put a gun in your hand, like, may the odds be in your favor.
Geometry of Thought said he works with vets, and it's a point system on how to get the disability, which is crazy. Like, just.
So my leg could be gone, and I
it's
don't
not
have enough points.
It's 2 points.
You know what's funny? Like, once again, I think it was one of those things where like they made like the title of an article, but we don't know all the details, right? So are all of them, every single person who's a vet qualified for it, or do you have to like, once again, be at that certain level in the point system to qualify?
And why not all vets? Why,
Yeah, that was.
Give it to all of them.
That was an issue for me too.
like, so I gave up I did all of
This
this
is
work
probably really
overseas.
selfish, right? But my first thought was like, that's nice.
Why not me too? Help me. I mean,
You know,
help.
you know how many people have gotten like breaks in this country? They're
Yeah.
not even from here, right?
I mean,
You come over here, you can
over
go
as an
to
immigrant,
school for free. You ain't gotta pay taxes. All
7
types
years.
of, like, you know what I mean?
7
Like,
years. Yeah.
I'm telling you. And my cousin was saying this last night. And we were talking about this last night. Like, why has our group been overlooked time after time after time? Other people getting breaks, right? Like, because they still hate us as a people, they're not gonna give you a break.
You're talking about our group as in
Black people.
For lack of better terms, like,
What?
we were throwaways. No, like, I wasn't caught up, I was just trying to find the right words to say it, because I was just gonna say, like, we were throwaways. Like, in their eyes. We came over here, we did what we needed to do, we were always looked at as less than, so,
Expendable.
right, so
Then why I gotta give
why I
you
care about
anything?
helping you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, you no longer slaves, we're equal now. I think that's how they look at it.
Ooh, you wanna talk about pissed off?
That's a,
I watched, Birth of a Nation,
Mm-hmm.
the 1915 silent movie.
I can't take that type of stuff in no more.
It was disgusting. They basically made it seem like, after like slaves were freed, like they all like ran them up, basically, like terrorizing communities and stuff like that, which is the birth of the KKK to like bring back order. It was nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It took me like several days to like get through the 3-hour movie. It was disgusting. If anybody can sit through it, like, I would watch it just to be aware of like what was put out so long ago. What, that was just over 100 years ago?
I mean, we live in this time now. I can't,
It,
I don't have the capacity.
that's a good segue to this comment. I don't know if everyone on live is gonna be able to hear it, but I'm gonna play it.
The whole thing is a lie. If you were to assemble a list, a hierarchy of concerns and problems this country faces, where would white supremacy be on the list? Right up there with Russia, probably. It's actually not a real problem in America. The combined membership of every white supremacist organization in this country were they able to fit inside a college football stadium? White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax. Just like the Russia hoax. It's a conspiracy theory used to divide the country and keep a hold on power. That's exactly what's going on. Wait, what? White supremacists?
who is it?
That is Tucker Collins.
You about to piss me smooth off.
Tucker Carlson. He made this. It came up somehow. They was talking about after Trump, he agreed that white supremacy is something that should be. He doesn't agree with it. Basically, he was stepping away from it, and from that comment,
It's a hoax.
Tucker Carlson.
I mean, but do you know who he is? He's an alt-right,
Yeah,
Fox News.
it's from the
like,
left side,
He,
Fox
the,
News.
the right.
Oh yeah, my
Yeah,
fault, right.
yeah.
He is up there with Sean Hannity, like, just these.
But what I appreciate from like these companies and stuff, like everyone's starting to be more aware. So like the next showing or his next time he came on, they had so many sponsors to pull out.
Good.
Like 5 or 6 sponsors. Like they
Good.
lost so many commercial spots from that BS. Like, what are you
A
talking about?
hoax.
Yeah, so it was a hoax.
This always takes me back to he is that privileged white person who has the ability to put his blinders on. He doesn't have to see what's actually happening because he's not around it. Whatever's
That's not his reality.
Whatever's not around him, it's not happening. It's not real.
Yeah, I mean that's what
I had to tell one of my coworkers actually believes that like racism isn't like real. Like who does that anymore? Like if it is something racist, it's usually like jokes or something like being done behind someone's back kind of thing. I'm like, what?
No, it doesn't work like this, right?
Same thing though. We hear about it because we're in the community, we're in the black community. Do I walk up my street and I see like a black man getting shot by a police officer every day? No. But I'm surrounded
But it
by it
happens
happening to people that look like me. You get what I'm saying? Like that is my reality, not yours though. So if it's not your reality, you don't want nothing to do with it and it's all fake.
Or I'm fine if that's not your reality, but what I struggle with is I'm telling you what my reality is, and you're telling me that that's not true. So you think that I'm not capable of articulating what's going on in my world and what's going on for my people?
Yeah.
Fuck you very much.
It's
Like,
not even telling. You can see it. All you gotta do is go look up videos on YouTube.
No,
that
you
shit ain't fake.
Have those conversations with those people at work, and you'll become enraged because their
I
thing
have.
is, their thing is, oh, they must have did something. Oh, well, you
Yeah.
shouldn't run from the police. Well, I'm running it because I know 6 other niggas who didn't run and got shot
yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And then running from the police is a crime. It is not a crime that's punishable by
Mhm.
death.
Yeah.
And then the cop does not become the judge, jury, and the executioner.
In that split
They
second.
still have rules that they have to abide by.
Yeah.
They still have shit that they have to follow, and they are allowed to run rampant,
Yeah.
to do whatever they want, because they can say like, "Oh, I fear for my life."
Right.
So
Now,
like I said,
I asked my coworker, I was like, did you even see the protests in Charlottesville? Did you see what they were saying? Shouting like, you will not replace us, doing the Nazi shit. Like,
Mhm.
did you see all of that? And he was like, well, I have to go look it up. Like, one, you're either saying that because I'm black and you don't want to offend me and say you watched it and it didn't bother you.
No.
Or you really didn't watch that shit and you just don't give a damn.
Because they chalk it up to like, that's them over there. My life is good right here,
Yeah.
so I don't have to deal with the things that you deal with. So my perspective and my worldview is completely different from the way in which you see it.
See, this all goes back up to voting, and I have an issue with that as well. People vote for the wrong reasons. They vote for what directly affects them. Fuck everybody else. Like, and I'm not for that.
I mean, I don't know, because I think that, like, the people who voted for Trump, a lot of them voted because they think that they could attain that level. They think that, like...
But it was a selfish move, basically. I'm voting for me and my family. How is that gonna directly affect us? Not necessarily, oh, how is this gonna affect my community?
But I don't
or our
think
country
that-
as a whole.
I think, because if people truly voted where they're supposed, like their economic status
Oh,
and all that,
right.
then
Yeah.
then he would not have won.
No.
So
His supporters are poor white people with no teeth.
yeah, your podunk people. But then don't discredit though. You got a lot of regular Joe Blow American citizens who voted for him who will never say, "Oh, that's who I voted for."
You have
That's
a lot
my
of black
candidate.
people that voted for him.
6% of black men voted for him.
I know some.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
What was their reason? Did you ask?
No, I don't want to have that conversation.
You should, though.
No, because
See, this is what I
it's
mean,
not-
though. Like, educate each other, right? Like, or at least get educated on the other side that you don't agree with, right? Like, that was a perfect person to be like, I need to know why.
No, because
You don't have.
I don't
That's
agree.
maturity.
No,
You
no,
don't
I
have
don't
to-
agree with anything this person does, whether it be politically, socially, economically, spiritually.
How do you know them? Through school or something?
No, I know.
Work?
No, I know them.
It's a relative.
It's somebody I trust that you know them.
Yeah,
So.
I know.
You're hilarious, said, so my question is, when will us as a people be free from this? What y'all think? Never. It's a mindset. That takes several years to completely change that and get out of that. So, it's still being taught.
I don't want to say never, because never means that
We won't be here.
that could very well be the truth.
Yeah.
But I think that the face of the world is changing, and I think that that's what's scaring a lot of these racist people, because stats say by 2050, brown people are going to outnumber
Yeah.
whites.
Yeah.
So they are trying to maintain who they are in society.
Now, I had another friend who had a problem with that too, right? He was like, okay, they're saying by 2050 we're gonna outnumber white people as far as like people of color, right,
Mhm.
in general, right? But he was like, it was also something from what you classify yourself as, right? It's basically like, what box do you check? That's how they're figuring out. So are people
Like from the census.
just not checking white anymore? You can check other, you know what I mean? Or you could
So
be,
you think that white people wouldn't check the white box?
to be honest, I think it's some,
I think they would check
I
that
think
white
it's
box.
some white people who don't want to be white. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say like, oh, I'm something else, like, oh, I'm Italian, or I'm this, I'm that. That's probably where you are originated from that. But if you're born here, you're white.
But I don't think those options are there, right? So
They're not. You're either white, black, Latino, other,
right,
Asian, right?
and you
There
don't
is
have, you don't have to disclose either. But
That's
maybe
what
those
I'm saying.
people aren't counted.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Those people can't be counted, right?
If
Because
you
how
don't
are you,
disclose, yeah.
right, how are you factoring in
If
those
you-
numbers?
Yeah, if you care not to disclose, I don't think that's counted. Because, because where do you fall? Unless they just put you in the other, which is, wouldn't be
Would-
right.
I mean, they put you in other, but they had to account for those numbers some other way.
Or are they assuming that other, okay, well, it's definitely not white, usually it's white or other. In this country, what, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't white, then you're of color.
Then you're
You're
but I think-
other.
I think that that's what we assume, but like, I think for census purposes, I would like to think that they put those people in that
I would hope,
other
but,
category, and that's how you give that plus or minus, like it could swing either way.
I would hope, but then we still have those polls that's still saying stupid shit like, oh yeah, like, it looks like Trump's, his approval rating went up or some shit like that, and I'm like, who the fuck are y'all polling? Cause I didn't get it.
Why did I never get an exit poll?
Yeah.
I vote in every election, and I ain't
I
never,
never got
asked.
one, and I'm on the internet all the time.
All right, we only got about 15 minutes, so let's, yeah, it goes, time flies, we're having fun. So just a few, to lighten the load a little bit. Did everyone know that, well, somebody said something? What? I didn't see it.
You're hilarious. Said, shit. I ain't never met a white person that don't want to be white. Yeah, until they get pulled over.
Yeah.
I want, see, I know we gotta move on, but like, just think about college applications and stuff like that, like, like, any, like, extra opportunities they might get for not being white, that they might take advantage of, you get what I'm saying, like,
No, I completely understand.
same way I heard, like, all these, like, white kids be, like, filing for emancipation. You know how much aid you get? Your parents don't have to pay for your student
That's
loans.
actually a
You
very
damn near
smart
don't
thing to
have
do.
none. Yeah, but black people don't do that.
That's why you put
Well, it's
a
about
business in
knowledge,
your
though.
kid's name.
Damn.
We don't pass that down. It's,
Yeah.
I mean,
First
is
of all,
it
we
we
don't
don't pass it down or we don't know it?
somebody.
Ain't nobody think to do
But
that.
somebody has come across this information.
When I was in college, I thought it would be kind of disrespectful.
And I will say that
I mean, that's still
within
your
our-
parent regardless. I'm
within our
sorry.
culture, what we do, we hold on to things. It's like the whole, and I don't want to sound cliche, but the whole crabs in the barrel. It's
Mhm.
like everyone, I made it out. I did this all by myself. No, you didn't. Somebody cracked the door at the least
Mhm.
for you to walk through.
Mhm.
So why not do it for the next person? But and that's kind of where we get stuck sometimes.
Yeah.
I get that, but I think also our struggle is I can give you the information,
What you gonna do with it?
but we tend to be skeptical people. You know what I'm saying?
We are very skeptical of our own.
Like,
Very.
nah, that worked for you. Nope,
Yeah.
I ain't doing it. That's stupid. We
We are very skeptical of our own, but that's a whole nother conversation for
Yeah.
today. However, did you want to know Black Youngster became an ordained minister?
Who?
Black Youngster, rapper.
you can become an ordained minister online.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't keep up with these young
Let him marry
rappers.
you?
Come on, man.
And I can't.
Absolutely not.
But he can pay these student loans, though.
He said he'll pay for your wedding.
What?
That's what he said.
If you let him marry you.
he'll pay for your wedding.
That's no point.
Oh, you down for that?
Does he mean the actual, like,
He'll pay for-
cost of
he'll
actually
pay-
what an
Probably the
ordained minister?
ceremony.
Right. He's not talking about, like, the
No, he's
$50,000 wedding that
That's
you're planning
exactly
in your
what
head.
he's talking about.
That's
He
bullshit.
said,
He's gonna pay for the reception. The preacher don't even come to the reception. He trying to party.
My open bar.
He said he's
You
gonna
gonna
pay.
pay for that
All
too?
right, whatever. Hot girl summer, y'all enjoying it? No.
Nigga, please.
I'm a grandma.
That doesn't apply to me.
So,
It's the golden girl summer for me.
so I'm glad you said that. I am,
Damn, you should have made
no,
a t-shirt at the
no,
beginning of the summer for that.
No,
Catch my
I'm
ass
so
on the
glad
couch.
that you said that. Because, yes, it has been the golden girl summer. Did you all hear the donkey of the day?
Yes.
No.
Oh, so this group of elderly people, I think the youngest person was like 65 or something like that.
Yeah.
It was 5 men and 1 woman,
Hey.
and they were at this known park.
This
in-
already sound bad.
What was it? I forgot where it
I'm
was.
not sure what city.
But they was at this known park that online it's tatted by being the place to link up and just be in. And they were caught doing lewd and sexual misconduct.
Shut the fuck. First of all, they were white.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And they were arrested. And Charlemagne gave the police department the donkey today. Like, come on, man. Like, the lady was like 82, and her husband was like 85.
That's kind of dope. First of all, that would be me.
I think
at
that's
my
cool.
age.
So all I'm saying is, you talking about Golden Girls, they having their summer
They
too.
having a hot girl
They're
summer,
having a
too.
hot girl summer
Wait,
too.
whoa. You said 5 men and 1 woman, right?
Yeah, so I blew past that. I wanted to see if you could pick it
Nah, I
up.
picked it up.
So we don't know
was
what
like
the
an orgy.
situation was. They said, yeah, it
It was
was.
a free for all.
We don't know. We don't know. We just know it was 5 men and 1 woman.
They like, life is too short.
Get it how you live.
Yeah.
So what happened to them? They all got arrested? And
They let him go on a promise to appear in court.
I was about to say,
Not
what,
a
never
bond,
have sex again in
a
public?
promise to appear in court.
Like a PR, like your personal recognizance.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Golden Girl summer.
And I think it's cool. Like,
I kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like,
if you,
why not?
if you still have that type
Do
of
you?
that
At
type of
that
drive
age?
at that age for your mate or mates, do you?
whatever you're into.
Do you?
82?
82.
That's what's up.
Lewd and sexual misconduct.
First of all,
I mean, you
that
can't-
sounds so bad, and I was just like, that's what's up.
I mean, they probably got clean records. If they don't, what you
They
gonna
probably
do?
like, we ain't never did nothing bad in our lives. Let's go do it today.
Who gonna put their grandma in prison? No, it's not even a prison-worthy crime.
Put Bill
They
Cosby in
put Bill
prison.
Cosby in prison.
I mean, but you know,
What-
that's a
what
whole
he look
different
like,
story.
yeah.
It's a very different situation.
All right. So
Can you explain this? I heard about it, but it's one of our topics. It's Brian Banks movie because I'm debating on. I just want to hear somebody
I
tell
guess
me what
we-
it's about.
I haven't seen it, but we can go out on that. I gave you a little snippet of basically, it was a gentleman by the name of Brian Banks. He was, I think he was in school. Yeah, he was in high school or whatever in California, and he was falsely accused of raping a classmate. And he spent 6 years in prison and 5 years on parole. When he got out, he had to be listed as a sex offender, and it just basically took his like a whole different spiral. And then she came out after the fact and said he didn't do it.
Didn't she like start contacting him on Facebook?
Yeah, so she hit him up basically like, let bygones be bygones, like trying to kick it. And then he met up with her and he recorded her, but in the state of California, you can't record someone without their
Consent
consent.
first.
Yeah, so he can use it. But however,
They're a
some other
two-party state.
right, so some other things came out. I forgot who got involved. Another like an activist group got involved, and they got it expunged. Not just
Is this
expunged.
one that Gibson? Is that who you're talking
That was a
the-
chick.
no, the lady.
Yeah, that was a chick. So yeah, so I hear it's a good movie.
about? I might watch it. It's probably gonna piss me off though.
I'm sure it will. But I don't think that this story is all that. Right, it's not uncommon.
No.
This is what I don't get right, especially for like the Me Too movement and all this other stuff going on, right? Like, if I was a man, I'd be so careful.
I mean, if I was
careful.
anybody, like, right, anybody in this day and age, because you can make an accusation of anyone, and I'm not saying, for the people who are out here being slime balls and doing nasty and dirty things, obviously, it's cool for you to get caught up. Like, I hope that you get caught and you are off the streets. But what I hate is that people use this movement to now, okay, we're all hypersensitive to things.
Every little thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to use this to ruin you because I know that I can.
Yeah.
I think that's really rough. And it could be a man or a woman.
Okay, will it be treated the same? No. Cardi B was out raping niggas and everybody laughed about it, and like 2 days later, nobody said anything about it. It's not treated the same.
I'm not defending Cardi by no means. I do think her situation was different. Like, the guy, they both came back to the room with the intent to do something. I don't think she was raping him, she was robbing him. So, he took a pill, or he was drunk, however he became incapacitated, she robbed him and left. She wasn't.
The story I heard from him was about him assuming that he got raped or thinking he got raped.
No, that's not. No, what she said, she admitted
So robbing them, drugging them and robbing them.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. She wasn't raping nobody.
But do y'all think it would be taken as serious? No.
If she was raping him?
No, if in general, if if a man spoke out today and was like, this
Men-
woman raped me, are we going to, you think?
Men have though. Then Terry Crews come out about somebody having some.
She's saying that like, but Terry Crews was inappropriately touched or groped by a man.
Oh, okay.
As an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it can happen to anybody.
I'm just saying, do we think it's gonna like get the attention that it gets from
I mean, I
because
think-
women are looked at as like, you know, these.
I don't think so because you didn't even know that he was touched by a man. So I guess to your point, it probably wouldn't get the type of attention if it was a man that was being.
I think it depends on who you are. If it came out that, I don't know, I don't wanna put that on anybody, but some high-ranking woman that we all know and love was
Mhm.
out
I
here,
get what
you know, raping men, then, yeah, that would be a huge
Her ass
thing.
going to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you Becky from down the street that's out here, you know,
He wanted it. I mean, I get it.
I do think that would probably be looked at differently. Because even nowadays, it's unfortunate, like, men go into police departments and report that they were raped, they get laughed at,
Mhm.
like,
Sorry.
I mean, but it's fact. He wanted it. Like, you, what?
no, I mean, that's just rough. I'm not laughing at anybody in that situation, anybody getting raped, anybody getting inappropriately touched, like, that's not cool by no means, so.
No.
If you feel violated, tell somebody.
All right. So, last couple of minutes, I'm going to highlight some things. There's a job fair going on Saturday at the Bachelor Western Hotel in Southfield from 10 to 2. Jobfairgiant.com. If you want to look into that, there's also a couple other things going on this week. There's a 90s, like an all that. This is all that.
Really?
This is all
Yeah.
How could I forget?
It's a party going on. Let me find it. But there's a party going on at Club Lou. I think it's Saturday.
I haven't been to Club Blue in years.
They held on.
They did, didn't
They came through the storm.
Yeah.
Because
I've never seen a club last that long.
Yeah.
they've never shut down, never changed their name.
That's true.
They've been Club Lou since.
Back when they were the only thing on Woodward.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so there's a I Love the 90s bar crawl on Saturday, 3 to 10.
That sounds fun.
So that's gonna be cool. There's the 31st is, I guess it's coming up soon. So that's the Detroit Margarita Crawl. And what else?
sounds like a whole lot of mix.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff going on. But I can't find out all that thing. So it's a lot going on this weekend.
Is Black Restaurant Week?
It's
still
still
happening,
going on.
right?
Yes, Black
Yeah.
Restaurant Week is still going on. So look out for that. Anything else you want to have? Yes.
Have a good weekend. Enjoy the cooler weather.
Man, be safe out there.
Is that? Said be safe out there.
No, really, like, it's rough in these streets.
Oh, hold on. I do want to, there's one news article I came across. So, you know how they say everybody's unlimited with their, like, data or whatever? So, who is this? Northern University and UMass did some research on, like, the throttling of video services. And they've proven that they throttle all time. So, you know how they'll say they'll throttle during, like, congested time. So, during peak time, maybe 8 to 9 p.m. or something like that, or 7 to 12, whatever, they throttle all day, every day. So when you think you just have trash service, they're throttling your service. So,
I mean, I think that, I from my understanding, I thought that they throttle people, like, when it's congested.
yeah, so during peak hours.
Everybody is always on their phone.
Yeah,
Everybody is like, so it's
Yeah.
always congested.
yeah. And then, but you're selling this whole unlimited thing, and I really don't get the unlimited aspect of it all, because if I'm sitting here watching something spin for 10 minutes before it loads,
It's just because you still was French.
Ooh, that was low. I went back to Sprint too, and you're right.
I know,
You're
I know
right.
I am.
I just don't understand
Should
why
have
she
never left
has
Verizon.
to. You know what?
She right though.
That's, you know what?
Just
no.
take the L with me.
No, because that.
You know Sprint is trash.
They may be, but you know what? I'm done with this
Wave your
conversation.
flag.
I'm not waving the flag. I just know
You
better.
should. You
Whatever.
should.
So, final words. You got time? So be safe. Be careful.
No, actually, I do have final words. I just have to find it really quick. Which looks like I'm not. It was something to the effect of stop feeding people who only take a plate to go.
I like that. I was just gonna say, pay attention to the people around you, love on them. You know, never know what somebody's going through. So, you got 2 minutes, give somebody a phone call. There's nothing wrong with calling people nowadays. Or talking to them. Send them a text if you really ain't got the time, but you know.
You got time,
Show
make
people
it.
show people you care.
At the same time as you're scrolling, you can send it that text.
That's honest, saying, hey, I was just checking in on you, ain't heard from you in a while. It makes people feel good.
What was I saying? Something. Just basically, I want people to pay attention to the signs like that are around you for different things, whether it be relationships, whether it be job opportunities, whether it be family, whether it be getting in your car.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to the signs. I think we get so caught up in everyday life and things that are going on, we don't pay attention to the simple things and the simple signs. We keep asking for signs. We keep asking for help. We
You
keep
have.
asking for direction.
Yeah.
And it's all right in front of us.
Yeah.
So,
Open your eyes.
yeah.
I'm a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's always been a pleasure. We'll see
Thanks,
you all next week.
guys.
This has been the Culture Cure. This is your coach. So be around the cure. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.